Hi. For week 7, we were asked to look at two different scenarios, both with a new semester starting and having a new student enter that had either a sight or hearing disability. And we were asked, like, our three next steps, our big three steps, in having them join our classroom in an inclusive way. When I think about these scenarios, the first thing I think I would do in both is just try to learn about the student. So I would be talking to their core teacher, talking to the para. Both scenarios mentioned that the student would have a para accompanying them, and that would help me feel out what the student needed or what they were comfortable accepting as far as accommodation. I would also want to speak to the people at home and speak to the student themselves, just to make sure that I was doing everything I could to make that student feel comfortable in my class and engaged. The next thing I would do was design my lessons like I always plan to do, which is through like a universal design where I'm just varying the modalities and I'm differentiating instruction for all of my learners, regardless of if they have disabilities or not. I think that all students can learn better when they're offered the information in several different ways. One thing that I often like to do is show a video. And with a video, obviously, for a student who is sight impaired, audio narrations. So anything they see visibly, you would want them to be able to hear audibly. And then for a student who, in the second scenario, who was hearing impaired, obviously captions. So any direction or anything in the video that you're giving to the students audibly, you'd also want to give to them visibly. Another thing would just be having notes, both written and verbal. So making sure that any student in the classroom is able to get the information in the way that best suits them. I think one thing that is important to note is that both students could benefit from tactile exploration of whatever you're working on, so letting them feel it. Both of those people can benefit from that. And also, I think this is a really good opportunity to use a pair and share group situation with any project, so that not only are they getting help and input from myself and their para, but also students in the classroom that if they're hearing impaired, then they would have hearing students in their group. If they had a sight impairment, they would have seeing students in their group. That way that they can work together and maybe help any difficulties in that peer situation.